Secrets. Everyone has them. But what would you do if a stranger knew yours? All of them. Emma walked through her quiet suburban street at dusk, her face lit by the glow of her phone. The air was still, save for the faint hum of crickets. She paused, sensing something unusual. A shadow lingered at the far corner of the street, watching. Uneasy, she shook her head and continued walking. The sound of her locking the door echoed in the silence as the night deepened. Emma's life was ordinary, predictable. Like many of us, she shared her world freely online, not realizing who might be watching. Sitting in her cozy living room, she scrolled through Instagram, liking posts and uploading a story of her dinner. Everything seemed normal until a notification caught her eye. Anonymous123 had liked her photo. Curious, she opened the account, only to see dozens of likes on photos spanning years back. She muttered to herself, "Creepy," before putting the phone down. As she drifted into sleep, her room remained still, but an unsettling tension began to creep in. The next morning, Emma visited her favorite coffee shop, ordering her usual caramel latte. It was just another day, or so she thought. As she picked up her drink, a voice called out, "Caramel latte, just like last Tuesday." Startled, she turned to see a man in a hooded jacket. "Do I know you?" she asked. The man smirked. "Not yet, but you love caramel lattes, don't you? Just like you posted last week." Her unease deepened as his words settled. At first it seemed harmless. A fan of her post, perhaps. But how did he know details she hadn't shared online? The tension built as she hurried away, her phone buzzing with a text. "It was nice seeing you today, Emma." That night, Emma lay in bed staring at her phone. Anonymous messages flooded her screen, each more disturbing than the last. "You look peaceful when you sleep. Remember that scar on your knee?" "I do." Her chest tightened with fear. She blocked the number, but new messages appeared, each from a different account. Frustrated, she slammed her laptop shut, only to notice her webcam light flicker briefly before going dark. The next morning, a package arrived at her doorstep. Inside was a bracelet she had lost years ago, one her late mother had given her. Her hands trembled as she read the note. "I've always been watching." Panic consumed her as she searched her home for hidden cameras, but she found nothing. Exhausted, she collapsed on the couch. Her phone vibrated again with a chilling message. "We need to talk. Meet me where it all began." Emma arrived at the park from her childhood, the shadows of the trees stretching long in the evening sun. A man stood waiting, leaning casually against a tree. "How do you know all this about me? Who are you?" she demanded. He smiled, his voice calm and unnerving. "You told me. Every post, every story, every check-in. You've been talking to me for years." The realization hit her like a wave, and she stepped back, her breath quickening. The man walked away, disappearing into the shadows. When Emma returned home, shaken, she set her phone down, trying to collect herself. That's when she noticed it. The tiny light on her webcam was on. Her heart raced as the screen zoomed in on her face. Panic etched across it. "We live our lives connected, sharing everything. But are you sure only your friends are watching?" The faint sound of a camera shutter echoed, leaving a chilling silence as everything faded to black.